Today we are going to discuss on the topic of OOP concept in C++. So those of you who have done structures in C++ now will be starting with OOP concept. OOP concept has got five concepts. Like first is encapsulation. Encapsulation means what? Wrapping up of data members and functions under a single unit. Like for example, in our real life also, if we see, we have a car which has got driving seat, back seat, then steering wheel, brakes, accelerator, wheels. All these make up an encapsulated feature, that is car. Similarly, our human body is also an encapsulated feature. Why? Because we have got hands, we have got limbs, eyes, nose, ears, everything, and all these are together, you can say, accommodated in one entity, and that is a human being, a human body, right? Then in classes and objects, how it is implemented, we will see that. The second feature that we are going to see is data abstraction. Data abstraction means what? See, abstract means which has no existence. Like suppose you are running a car, you are driving a car, but are you well aware of the internal machinery that is operated inside it? No. You only know how to start your car, and immediately the machinery inside it starts working. That working of the machine is invisible to us. So it is hiding of the background details and exposing essential features, which is known as data abstraction. Then the next concept that is coming is polymorphism. In concept, polymorphism means one name having several forms. Like in our class, if suppose we have got two students having the same name, like one of them is Vijay, the other is also Vijay, but it is not necessary that both of them will have the same features. Maybe one of the Vijay is tall in height and he loves football and tennis and various kinds of sports. The other Vijay may be studious. He may be short in height. So these characteristics we will be seeing in classes and objects also in the form of function overloading and constructor overloading. Then the next feature that we will be studying in OOP concept will be inheritance. Inheritance, as the word comes, immediately biology is recalled in our mind, that in biology we study that inheritance occurs and we as children get some features from our parents. Similar is the case with classes and objects. When we will be creating one class, its features will be inherited by the other one. And then the last that we are going to discuss is modularity. See, module means a function or a procedure which carries out a specific task. Like let's take a good example of our life. Like if suppose a party is being organized at home, then several tasks are distributed among the family members. Like one of the family member may be given a task of decorations, the other may be given a task of looking at the catering, the other may be given a task of writing the invitation, the guest list who are going to be invited. The other one may be taking care of some other features of the party. So that means a seating arrangement. So this means that if all of them are paying attention to their own individual task, that party will be very well organized. Similar is the case in classes and objects, which we are going to see in programming now, that if we have got several functions in one class, but each function is carrying out only its specific task, it has nothing to do with the function of the other class, then it becomes modularity. So let's have a look at one of the programs of classes and objects. Today we are going to look at a programming which contains encapsulation and modularity. Suppose a question is given to us that we have to define a class, a student, which is having roll number, name and marks of two subjects. And in one function we are going to take input of all these members, and in the other function we are going to calculate the total and average. Now if you see, I am counting on two functions. One is the input function and the other for calculation. and the third function will display all the details. So 3 functions, that means 3 modules, each carrying out its specific task. So let's see how to make that program. And as we know, being C++ students, that we need to include 2 header files, iostream.h and conio.h. So let's see. Now after hash include those 2 header files, first of all, before we make main, we have to create a class student. That means it should be a global class, not a local class. So class is a keyword, student is the name of the class that has been given in the question. The question says we have to declare roll number and marks of 2 subjects. Suppose the marks of 2 subjects are taken an array and a name also has to be taken, so char name 20. So these are my data members, just like structure. It looks like structure, you will feel अरे ये तो structure की तरह है. But structure में there were no functions inside the structure. Class is asking us to create 3 functions. Now we'll be creating a public area. What is this? This is actually the access specifier which specifies कि इसके पहले जो कुछ भी था they were all private, they cannot be seen outside. For making functions always remember आपको public section use करना होगा. So in public I am going to declare here 2 functions, three functions, void input, semicolon, void cal, semicolon, and void display. After that I am closing my class. Just like structure. That means after the curly brace I am putting a semicolon. Now where do these functions be made? Where to make them? Just after the closing of your class, you will be creating your first function, void input. Let me make it this side. Void input. Before void input, I have to write void student scope resolution operator input. Now what is this? This actually is showing कि ये input function कोई normal function नहीं है. It belongs to which class? Student. So scope resolution operator will give it the recognition. So here with cout we are going to ask enter roll number, name, marks. Same roll number and name, so I will be taking like this, but since marks is an array, I will be running a for loop. Plus plus cin m of I. This function has closed. The next function that we have to make is void calc, in which we have to calculate the total and average. I'm drawing here a line because to differentiate them, void student scope resolution operator calc, and here again I will be running a for loop. I need a local variable total and a local variable average. So t plus is equal to m of I. T plus is equal to m of I will do what? It will calculate the marks of 2 subjects and add them to total to calculate the total. After the total is over, we will be calculating your average, which is equal to 3 divided by 2. And then we will print here both of them. The reason is I have to print here the total and average because these are the local variables which which are declared inside the function calc. As soon as they come out of the calc function, the recognition finishes, the scope finishes. Now this function has ended up. The next function that we have to make is display. So void student, scope resolution operator, display, and here we will be printing name, roll number, and for marks of two subjects again a for loop to print both of them. Cout M of I. So the three functions have been made. That means inside the class we have declared only the function prototype. You are saying कि मैं ये बनाने जा रहा हूँ क्लास के बाहर. So when your class finishes, you will have to give recognition to all these three functions by saying कि ये कौन सी क्लास के functions है? Student. Void student scope resolution operator input, in which you will be taking the input of all the data members. Then void student scope resolution operator calc, in which you will be calculating the total and average. And void display to print all the data members. Display cannot print total and average because total and average are local variables जो कि वहीं पर ही ख़त्म हो जाएंगे उसी फंक्शन में. नाउ क्वेश्चन अराइजेस, अच्छा ये तो बना लिया, मेन में क्या करेंगे? अगर मेन बनाने के लिए आ गया तो क्या करेंगे उसमें? So let me tell you the functions that we have prepared now. They are said to be outline functions. What are outline functions? ये थोड़ा सा डिस्कस कर लेते हैं. सपोज वी हैव क्रिएटेड हियर void main. तो आपकी क्लास का एक ऑब्जेक्ट बनेगा स्टूडेंट ए. ये जो ऑब्जेक्ट मैं बना रही हूँ, दिस इज जस्ट लाइक द स्ट्रक्चर वेरिएबल. जैसे स्ट्रक्चर था स्टूडेंट, तो स्टूडेंट ए. नाउ विद द हेल्प ऑफ ए आप ये तीनों फंक्शंस को कॉल करेंगे. ए डॉट इनपुट, dot calc and a dot display. फिर मेन बंद हो जाएगा. तो मैंने जो अभी टर्म यूज़ किया था, द टर्म दैट आई यूज नाउ वाज आउटलाइन फंक्शन. व्हाट इज एन आउटलाइन फंक्शन इन C++? See, the functions which are going to use switch case or for, while, do while, they cannot be made inside the class. इसलिए they are containing the prototypes inside the class. Now when you call them in main, like in main I am calling a dot input. When I am calling a dot input, it will jump into the function, carry out the task and then return back. That means ये jump किया, काम करवाया, wait किया, वापस गया. That means time wastage is occurring. Just going into the function, executing the task, coming back to me. So those functions which are outlined, the control jumps into that function when they are called, and after executing the task they return back to the calling statement. This causes time wastage, less memory wastage, right? Then void student scope resolution operator calc will do what? Here we are, again we are calling a dot calc. So a dot calc will reach into the calc function, calculate the total and average, again return back. That means here also time wastage has occurred and then memory wastage is less. अब आप पूछेंगे memory wastage क्या होता है? See, the code that I have written inside this function, ये code बार बार एग्जीक्यूट, मतलब बार बार लिखा नहीं जाएगा. ये एक ही बार लिखा गया है. दैट मीन्स इतनी ही मेमोरी इसने ऑक्यूपाई की है. एंड देन बस एग्जीक्यूशन टेक्स प्लेस एंड देन इट गोज बैक, राइट? नाउ द क्वेश्चन अराइजेज इज दैट दीज आर आउटलाइन फंक्शंस एंड व्हाट आर इनलाइन फंक्शंस. लेट्स टेक अ स्मॉल एग्जांपल ऑफ अ प्रोग्राम which uses inline functions. Hope this program is clear. So let's use inline functions also. Suppose a question is given that we have to enter name, department and salary in a class employee, and in one function we have to take the input, in the other function calculate the HRA, which is 10% of the salary, and DA, which is 12% of salary, using class as an object itself. So we'll be creating class employee, in which we have got a character array, now here we have to create a function void input, and if you look carefully, I am going to make input here itself inside the class. The reason is it isn't requiring any looping statement. I'm going to take name, employee number, and salary. Employee HRA, in which HRA will be calculated as 10% of salary, so 10 into salary upon 100, C out, then void DA, %12 of the salary, then C out, D, and this finishes our class. Now you will see that this program is having all the functions inside the class. The reason is they are not using any looping, any switch case, anything like that. So these are said to be inline functions. Now what do inline functions do for us? In main, if we are going to create the object of this function, or the object of this class, employee B, and I am calling B dot input, B dot HRA, and B dot DA. Calling is the same, only thing is functions have been made inside. So what will happen? Now when you are calling input function from main, it will not jump into that function. The function will say, wait there, I am bringing these two statements over here and I will insert that code here. So what happens? Memory increases, memory usage is increasing, time wastage is less, because the control does not have to jump into the function. And here also in B.HRA, this code will be inserted here. It will not have to go into the HRA function. And so here also memory wastage is less. Memory wastage is more, but time wastage is less. Similarly in case of B. So you can see when small functions are required, you can make inside the class. But it is generally recommended कि ये वाले functions भी आप बाहर ही बना लें, and prototypes अंदर रख के वही scope resolution operator से बाहर बना सकते हैं. Because it has been said in CBSE board also and in other colleges also that if you make the functions outline, it would be better because it will then require less memory wastage. So hope inline and outline functions are clear. Now I told you in the beginning of the programming that we are going to do encapsulation. Yes, we have done encapsulation. The data members here over here are said to be the state. They are said, and here also the functions that are carried out, they are all encapsulation. Like we have got eyes, we have got ears, we have got nose, we have got hands, legs. After these features, when they carry out their different tasks, like with hand I was writing on the board. So these tasks are said to be the functions, and these are the data members that we have got. Similarly, the data members and the functions under a single unit is encapsulation. Did we carry out modularity? Yes, we carried out modularity. Each function has nothing to do with the other function. Each function is carrying out its own task. This function is doing its own task, this function is doing its own task, and this function is doing its own task. So modularity also has been carried out in this program. So hope you people have understood it, what are inline and outline functions, encapsulation and modularity, and the 5 concepts that we have discussed. Okay, and we'll be coming up in the next section with other topics. Thank you.